Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fourth episode of
Fifth.
an interview with
Fifth.
my best friend.
It's the
Oh,
fifth.
fuck. I already messed it up. Welcome to the fifth
Oh, you know what's
episode.
going at the end of this episode in the audio.
Welcome to the fifth episode of an interview with my best friend. I'm Hayden, your host. This week's guest, we have Josh. Say hi,
Hello.
Josh.
Hi. Hi.
Josh, how are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I'm doing pretty all right.
On this episode, I wanted to do something that I have never done in my entire life, and
Okay.
I wanted to go on a date with my best friend. So what I've done is I have researched the bona fide best questions to ask on a first date. This is coming to you from, I think, BuzzFeed and Huntington Post,
The
and
most reputable sources.
yeah, all of those like pseudo journalism, like basically like glorified social media companies that like try to do news and shit like that. If
All
you work at
right.
either of those, I'm sorry for shitting on you, but like,
Well,
I
I
don't
already have the title for this episode, so that's great.
know. So this is actually going to be a date with my best friend.
Hey, look at
So,
that. It's the title of the episode. Wow.
so my first question, so actually the reason that I've been doing that, I wanted to do this topic or these topics, quote unquote, would be because we're living in a land of COVID and things are a lot different. I've been going on a lot of virtual dates, and that's because I don't really feel comfortable meeting with people in real life
Mhm.
and breaking my bubble and, getting out there and exposing myself to COVID. So, yeah, I've been on a lot of virtual dates and they've gone okay. Some of them have not gone well, others have gone very well. So I wanted to see how well I would do with Josh. And I really
I
don't
was
have
not
anything to
expecting
lose
this
at
at
this
all.
point.
So
I know, yeah. And Josh isn't married yet, so technically this is okay. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Becca, I'm joking. I'm not coming for your man. Don't worry. Uh, so I thought it'd be fun. Also, like a lot of questions that you would ask somebody on a first date are questions that are just, fun to talk about,
yeah.
and we could get a good discussion going. So the first question that I have is, a medida que envejeces, ¿qué es algo que mejora y algo que empeora cada vez más? Oh shit, I just spoke Spanish. That's crazy. If you want to hear me speak more Spanish, check out Un Té en la Madriguera, my friend Julia's podcast.
I
We
got
will link to that in
so
the description.
nervous. I got
But
so nervous. I was like, how am I supposed to respond to this?
I just
I
thought, I was thinking about it, and then I was like scrolling through the article, and it was like, click this link to see these questions in Spanish. And I was like, all right, bet. Fuck yeah, let's do this. So, there's my little bit of the day. So hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, if you want to hear me speak Spanish, check out my friend's
struck the
podcast.
fear of God into
And
me.
so I'll go ahead and translate that into English
Let's
for you.
do
So,
take two of that.
so as you get older, what is something that is improving and something that is the opposite? What's the opposite of that? I can't, my brain just like language flipped right now. uh
Deteriorating.
sure, yeah, like something that's getting worse and worse, something that's getting better and better, and something that's getting worse and worse as you get older.
Um, well, things that I've noticed that uh I've been getting better at as the years have gone on is definitely my decision making and stuff like that, and being able to commit to uh, certain goals that I've laid out ahead of me. Um, I feel like I've done a much better job of sticking to my goals that I've set out for me and all that jazz.
Hmm.
One thing that I would say has worsened over the years is definitely my eyesight, but I don't think that's because I'm getting older. I think that's because all I do every single day is stare at computer screens for
Oh
work.
yeah,
So
yeah, I've actually
I've
been,
definitely noticed that my eyesight is definitely deteriorated, but I still haven't gone to an eye doctor about that. So
Well, also you got to keep in mind like your brother wears glasses, your other brother wears glasses,
Mom wears
mom wears
glasses.
glasses. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe something you want to look into. But also, you should definitely get some blue light glasses. I've been thinking about doing that because that's what I do at work all day is I work on a computer. And oh, you have them.
Haha. I do,
Well,
but
damn.
I
I should
don't
take my own advice.
I was wearing them at work, but then COVID started and I was wearing a mask and everything. It would just keep fogging it up, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So
Yeah.
because I'm a little bitch.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think for me, something that's getting better and better is my friendships. Like my friendships are getting
Yeah,
stronger and stronger. I'm learning to value my friends a lot more. And I am one thing that I've started doing with my friends is telling them that I love them more.
and
And
we've been doing that for
just,
a while already.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but I just mean like with all my friends.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, it's something so simple as just saying I love you at the end of a phone call because it's not like, it's not like I'm dating this person unless it's Josh right here, right now. Then in that case, I am. Um, but it's like, just showing more love and affection for my
Mhm,
friends. And,
for sure.
you know, because in this age of COVID, that's very hard to do. It's not like I can hug people. It's not like I can kiss the homies goodnight like I want to. Uh, but so I feel like that's something that I'm getting better at personally, and just being more like emotionally available for my friends as well. So I definitely feel like that's something,
Yeah.
and I think that's pretty important because growing up, I feel like that's always been a barrier. Like we're always supposed to be these like stoic men who don't feel
Hmm.
anything and don't cry, and
Yeah.
you know and I feel like our generation is really, with some exceptions, the first to start breaking down that barrier.
Hmm.
And
I would 100% agree with that. And fucking Gen Z is like just taking another step like forward with that, which is
yeah, for sure.
delightful to see.
Yeah. And yeah, Gen X, sorry, you ain't it. Go to therapy. uh
We all
Pretty
need it.
much. That's all I really have to say about that. Something that's getting worse and worse. Man, I hate to say it, but I just, my faith in humanity is just all time low.
Oh
With
man, I wish I
you
had
know
thought about that.
I I wanted to bring it up in the last podcast, but we ran a little bit long. But when I kind of went on a rant about who is a hero during this whole thing
Hmm.
and how essential workers are a hero, and then everyone else
Politicians
can go
definitely
fuck
aren't.
themselves. Yeah, I didn't mean it like, I didn't mean to come off so strong in the last podcast, but also I kind of did, because let's just face it, y'all are terrible. Like, wear a mask, social distance, learn science, take a vested
It's been a
interest,
year. It's
educate
not that
yourself,
hard.
um, you know, and thank an essential worker and buy them a
Don't be a
coffee.
dick
Or
to them, like please.
yeah, oh my god.
Like
Or if they don't drink coffee, buy them flowers or some shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just, I don't know. Do something like, go out there and do something unselfish. I dare you. And the reason that I dare you is because I don't think that you'll do it. So that's all I have to say about that. But anyway, so those are my
not even
answers to
dared
those
though.
questions. Yeah. Oh, I triple dog dare you. What's up
Oh
now? What are you gonna do?
shit!
Oh, we need an air horn in here. No, we don't.
No, 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 no. Maybe I'll add that as like a sound during the
the
episode.
the podcast is an air horn free zone. Unless Josh adds it in the final cut. But if you do add it, just make it like a very make it the whisper of air horns. Yeah.
It'll actually just be the dog from Blue's Clues going pow.
Honestly, I'm okay with that. We should do that. We should change the air horn to Blue from Blue's Clues. I'm actually down for that. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
Um,
Okay, while you think, I'll just talk about
I was
mine.
like,
The
I
best
need some time to think about this.
the best advice that I've ever received is don't worry about where you are in life. Check this out. I've told this to multiple people, and this is something that I kind of, I just Googled it one day. Like there was another example of this kind of thing, but then I was, personally vested in a different thing. So I went and looked it up. But did you know that Shakespeare didn't write Hamlet until he was 36 years old?
Hmm. It's
And
insane.
I'm 24 at the time that we're filming this, and Josh is 25. And we are literally a decade younger than Shakespeare when he wrote his most influential work, arguably. Uh, I know that's contentious, but come on, it's Hamlet. Fuck you. Um, and so my point is, don't worry about where you are in life, and everyone is doing things at their own pace.
Hmm.
Um, like just very recently, Dad just got his degree. He finished,
Hmm.
and he's obviously older than us, and that's great, and I'm so proud of him. But you just got to realize everyone is at their own stage in life, and that's okay. And I was talking to our friend Joseph about this yesterday. What's up, Joseph?
I'd
He
love to
was
get him
talking
on here.
about, oh, me too. Oh god, Joseph, hit us up, like, please come on the podcast, please. um he was talking about how he started working out yesterday and he's not where he wants to be. And I said, dude, don't worry about it. There are people that didn't start yesterday like you did. There are people that won't start until you are where you want to be, or
Hmm.
even after. And you never know. So don't even worry about it. Everyone is at their own place in life and everything will turn out okay. And you just have to, you know, do your best. That's
Yeah.
all that you can do.
So another example of more or less like a late bloomer. Samuel L. Jackson didn't get his like star role until he was 45 in Pulp Fiction. Like
Yeah.
you just got to realize that a lot, like there have been a lot of people who have not gotten to like those super high levels of success until they're in their late 30s, early 40s, 50s even. Like, I think Oprah, like
Hmm.
she didn't become wildly successful until she was like 40 or 50 or something like that. I don't remember the exact age, but
Right.
my piece of advice that I would it kind of tags along with what you said, and it's advice that I've gotten from Becca multiple times. It's just that your loved ones will support you in whatever you decide to do, and that is something that I've repeatedly been needing to hear, uh, because like I talked about this in fair length in the last episode, so I won't harp on it too much here, but I thought I wanted to go to pharmacy school to be a pharmacist and everything like that. I'm having serious doubts about that at this point, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, but I know the things that I do want to do are creative and not uh, in the realm of like medicine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I wish it hadn't taken me till 25 to realize that, but at the same time, I'm only 25. So
Right.
I have
I
so
and I
much
think that
time ahead of me.
I think that that's so great that you phrased it that way. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for our generation is we are only like start getting into the habit of saying that. Everyone, we are
Hmm.
only this old. I feel like so many people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm already this old." No, no, stop. We are only this old. Like, sure, fine. Maybe, yeah, maybe I'm going through my mid or not mid, fuck, quarter life crisis right now. That's fine. I have been for a little while now. Just
Haven't
with
we
everything
all?
that's yeah, everything that's been going on in the past year. But that doesn't, whatever. Everyone is. So we need to stop saying, wow, I've already wasted this much time, or, I've already
You
spent this
haven't
much time on
wasted
earth.
any time. Like
Yeah, you really haven't. you got to start saying, I've only been alive for this long. I still have so much ahead of me. And
Hmm.
especially with, you got to think about, 200 years ago, people weren't living this long.
Exactly.
People would die at like 50.
Yeah, 200 years ago,
And
this would be your midlife crisis, and you would be justified in saying, "Oh my God, I'm already 25," because yeah, you're
yeah,
halfway dead at this point. But no, we
yeah,
like human like life expectancy is so long at this point. People like it takes time to like figure out what you want to do in life, and like obviously some people figure it out quicker than others, and that's fine. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to know what you want to do right out of high school when you're 21, but when you're 25, like I'm just figuring out what I want to do with my life at like 25, and that's fine. Some people, it takes people even longer than that sometimes, and like I'm lucky enough to be in a job right now that is like it pays me fairly well. I'd say I'm on par with like a teacher's sort of salary, except I don't have to pay for all my shit to educate kids. So I'm doing
yeah.
better than a teacher because poor teachers. Uh, they're
Seriously,
truly,
yeah.
truly fucked by the American education system. But that's a topic for
Yeah.
another day. Anyways,
Yeah, definitely. We could get into that for sure. Um, yeah. So don't worry about where you are in life. I think that's the biggest takeaway. You are exactly where you're meant to be.
mm-hmm.
Just keep working on it, keep being your best self, and we love you. Um, so next question, when you meet someone, what says the most about them?
So I, so like
So yeah,
upon initial meeting, like it's just like
it's whatever comes to your mind. So like I'll kind of break up this like a little
yeah,
bit of
yeah.
dead air that we're
Give me an
having.
example, because
So for me, something that's important is eye contact is like super important. Like if
that's fair.
somebody's like, if I'm on a first date or, if I'm hanging out with somebody for the first time, like it's just in a friend capacity or really anything, or even if I'm hanging out with somebody that I've known for years and I can tell that they're not present, that speaks volumes. Like if I'm on a date or out, with friends or
Hmm.
something and like somebody like picks up their phone, I kind of, I have kind of an aversion to that. Like I try to, as much as I can. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I've been called out on this before.
Hmm.
Um and, you know, I just think that if somebody's not present, that's what sticks out to me, and then it makes me feel like I have to be more entertaining or like I have to make
Hmm.
up for that somehow.
Yeah, for
I have to
sure.
compensate. So that's something that really speaks a lot to me is, I think that, just in general, by and large, most of us are addicted to our cell phones.
Hmm.
And
I know I have
I
a
mean,
serious problem with it.
me too. And I get it, but it's like something that stands out so much. And it says the most about people because it's like, oh, okay, here I am right here in front of you, but you would rather be on your cell phone. And
Hmm.
like I said, I do this too. I'm guilty. I'm calling myself out as much as I'm calling out other people. And I hate it. And so I've been, making a conscious effort to
Hmm.
not do that as much.
And I hate to kind of like piggyback onto your statement, but I would definitely say that that is one of the first things that I notice in a person and all that jazz. I mean, obviously I haven't gone like I've not been single for multiple years, so like some of these questions are definitely going to be weird for me to answer in a way,
Yeah.
because I haven't had to sort of like focus on any of these kind of things for a very long time. But
This
I
was
would just say,
intentional.
thank you. I would just say like uh in addition to just like the eye contact is like just like and you definitely talked about this, but just like being engaged in whatever is going on, like being like actually participating in conversation with the other person or persons that might be present, and just like being present is
Yeah.
important, which
Yeah.
I completely understand. Some people like are definitely like wired different, and they, those kind of interactions can be fairly stressful. But if you're, say, this is just a an example that has that's not based on anything, but say you're meeting your partner's like best friends, and you decide to stay on your phone the whole time and not
Yeah.
engage in conversation with them the whole time. Like, those are probably the most important people to your partner in the world outside of you. So like, you should at least put in the effort to
Right.
engage with them. And when it comes around and uh like, you find out that their best friends don't necessarily like you all that much, it shouldn't be a surprise if you're not engaging with them and like participating in any sort of conversation, or even trying to get to know them on a base level. I
Yeah.
it's one thing that definitely bothers me when somebody's trying to introduce somebody else, and that somebody else just has absolutely no interest in like socializing at all with anyone that they're being
Hmm.
introduced to.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
feel
just
like
like a
in
off the dome sort of example sort of thing, not based on anything that may have happened any time recently at all.
oh yeah. No, definitely not. Yeah. Anyway, so okay, that's kind of interesting because I feel like the responsibility also kind of falls on the partner in that situation a little bit too. Because if their significant other is not being present or is kind of on their phone, like, okay, so that's a stressful situation for someone to
Yeah.
be introduced to a group of friends. I understand that. And so it's kind of a natural reaction to go to your comfort zone and, like,
Mhm.
check your phone and, kind of get out. It's kind of a little bit of escapism. And so
Yeah.
the responsibility is also on the partner in that situation because they got to be kind of like, they got to kind of corral them in. And, it's got to be gentle and it's got to be, proactive. It can't be. So, this really sounds like up until this point, it's kind of been a criticism, which it is, but also there's more factors at play. So, you know, uh, that's
Now, and
really
then
it.
say uh that your partner's best friend in the whole world gets shit faced drunk. That probably isn't going to help the situation either.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. But wow,
But
that would
yeah,
never happen in real life.
that's a very specific example that was just kind of off the dome, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely didn't happen. Anyway, so okay, I'm really excited for this question.
Oh, I'm
You
not.
are through you are throwing a dinner party and it's post-COVID, so don't worry. So everyone listening, this is post-COVID, so shut the fuck up, okay? Fuck you. Wear a mask, and then we can maybe do this in real life instead of just talking about it and speculating. You assholes. Okay, anyway. You're throwing a dinner party and you can only invite one musician, one politician, one famous couple, and one family member. Who do you invite?
Okay. So, one musician.
One musician.
I Okay, you go first, that way I can think about this, because I need
Okay.
to.
So, my one musician that I personally would invite, his name is Mark Rebier. He is an improvisation funk artist,
I love
and
him so much.
he's so great. Everything. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but basically he makes up everything on the fly. He just has a keyboard and a loop machine, and he makes loops and he makes songs out of it. He's incredible, and he's just a super cool guy. Like, I've seen him on podcasts and I've seen him, do interviews and stuff, and he just seems like an all around great person.
That's
And I
fair.
love his energy
That's fair.
and I love his music, and so yeah, that's my one musician. and he's not like he's not a superstar, so it wouldn't be like daunting in any way.
Hmm.
Like he seems like a guy that I could sit down and have a beer with. He's not like Drake, where I'd be worried that, he's like, well, first of all, Drake would never give me the light of day. But second of all, that would be just fucking insane to have Drake in your living room. Like hello. Um, plus, don't don't like super famous people tend to travel in like entourages and stuff. Like, how do you know that it would just be him?
Depends. It depends on the it
I don't know.
depends on
I
the
could be wrong there.
famous
Yeah,
person, I would think.
yeah. I guess if I had to choose like a superstar, it'd probably be Post Malone. But again, he's so large and just like out of this world that like I don't even. I'm trying to think
Although
realistically.
even with that, I feel like I could actually like sit down and have a drink with Post Malone.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
for sure.
he just seems like a very like sort of like down to earth sort of guy. Like I don't
Hands
know.
down.
I could be completely wrong there. But I just feel like he seems like a real chill guy.
Yeah, hands down, my favorite Hot Ones episode, by the way, is Post Malone. Uh, yeah. So one politician. Okay. Honestly, Bernie Sanders, because I love him. I don't necessarily agree with any like everything that he says. Like I don't agree with all of his policies, but I align with some of what he says. But I just think he's just a great guy. He's just a
Mhm.
good person, and that's really the core of it. Put all the politics aside and put all the views aside and put everything like that on the side. He is a good person. That's really it.
Mhm.
That's all I'm going off of.
Oh, for sure.
And one famous couple, uh, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, for sure.
Yeah.
Just they're
I
so
love
interesting.
Ashton Kutcher.
They're so interesting. Like they do so much more. Like yeah, they had this breakout with that 70 show, and they've kind
Hmm.
of they've been in movies ever since and everything like that. That's great. But they've done so much more than that outside of themselves. And also, I just feel like in general, they're also good people.
Kind of double dipping on the politician there because Ashton Kutcher is a politician, like in his like day job, more or less.
Right. Yeah. So, the lines are a little bit blurry. And then one family member, am I allowed to say Josh? I don't think I am. So I'm gonna have to say one family member that I bring to this amazing dinner, probably gonna be my dad. Because dad, you need to take a load off, you need to take a break. I love you. And also we need to get dinner. So there we go.
There you go. Okay, so I've given this some thought, and I think
Okay.
now I thought about giving you a meme answer for the musician and say DJ Cribdef, but
Okay, I changed my answer. Nope. I'm sorry, Mark Rebier, but you will never hold a candle to DJ Crib Def.
but and then my brain was like, nah, we should maybe do a bit more of a serious answer. But then my brain automatically just went to Gus Johnson as my musician. Uh,
Oh,
even though like I think on his channel he only has 2 songs, but he does have an EP out. So I think I am gonna stick with Gus Johnson as my musician. Also because I know
so
he's a Midwestern boy and I would get along. I would hope I'd get along with him.
so I don't know if you've seen this on Spotify. It's not on Apple Music, but it might be on Spotify. I'm not sure. It's definitely on YouTube. So Josh, after this, go listen to it.
Is it
Um,
Skyrim House?
Gus, no,
Okay.
Gus Johnson has a video titled "Gus Johnson Sings an Entire Conway Twitty Album," and we talked about this in the first episode. Like I love really old country music,
Mhm.
and Gus Johnson sounds almost exactly like Conway Twitty. I swear to God, like
I
it is
just
uncanny. It's
in
fucking insane,
for
bro.
the
I'm
same
telling you.
reasons that you said that you would invite. I can't remember his name, but uh
Oh, Mark.
the yeah, I just feel like because he's not like a superstar musician, he would be like easier to like. I would still be daunted in meeting Gus Johnson because he's one of the
Oh yeah,
funniest people on the planet.
yeah, hands
But
down.
like I just feel like he would be real chill to like be around. Like he he's just a funny guy, and I would it'd be really cool to have him at a dinner party. Now, politician, I also thought about giving you a meme answer and saying Ted Cruz just to make fun of him, but that would
I
have
literally thought that. I literally that crossed my mind. I was like, I really want to say Ted Cruz just so I can shit on him. Or hear me out. Maybe he could redeem himself. Like maybe he's not a total asshole in
that's
real
not
life, but
possible.
I just don't think that that's true.
But I would only do that if I invited DJ Cribdef as my musician.
Yes.
On a serious note, though, I did think about Bernie, but then you said Bernie, and I didn't want to copy you. So I'm gonna go with AOC, mainly for the same reasons. I think she is a great politician. I think she's exactly what politics needs, and that is just younger people in politics.
She's very
Um,
personable.
she's very personable. She raised $2 million for Texas in like
Yeah.
a weekend, I think it was. And what the
Yeah, I
fuck
was
did
talking
Ted
to
Cruz
this.
do? He went off to Cancun, like the piece of shit that he
Yeah.
is.
I was talking to my dad about this the other day. Like, he was like, "What's your opinion on AOC?" I was like, "I think she's a genius. I don't agree with everything that she says politically.
Hmm?
Um, I don't line up with all of her political views, but she knows what she stands for. She's personable. She's likable, and she calls people out on both sides.
And she actually
She's
knows what it's like to be an actual like everyday American because she was a bartender before she was in Congress.
right.
Like she
Yeah.
knows like she knows how much people struggle with just normal jobs.
Right.
I would invite her for sure as my politician.
Yeah. I think my second choice would be Obama, just because he was president when we were kids, and so he's just like
Also, just a immensely personable person.
exactly.
He just seems like a nice guy. Like,
Yeah.
um, for my celebrity couple, uh, I also had uh, a choice between two couples. Both are on the same program of Critical Role, and I had a
Uh,
hard time choosing between Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey or Matthew Mercer and Marisha Ray. I think I would personally go with Travis and Laura, though. I
ooh.
nothing against Matt and Marisha, but I have loved Travis and Laura, and
Yeah.
their kid is literally the cutest little kid on the planet. And honestly, like they just seem like the nicest of people. Like I know
Yeah.
Matt Mercer is literally the definition of the nicest person on the planet, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like it's like splitting hairs. My answer could change as quick as the wind, or as quick as the weather does in Spokane. Um,
Hmm.
and for the family member that I invite, uh, since it can't be Hayden, it'd probably be my dad because he's outside of Hayden and Becca. He's probably like my best friend, and I love him to
Hmm.
death.
Yeah. That's a solid choice. So for this dinner, we've already established who the guests are. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'm just gonna, for all intents and purposes, for the rest of this conversation, I'm just gonna assume that we are at the same dinner party, you and I. So
Okay.
I have all my guests on my side of the table, and you have all your guests on your side of the table, and it's
Okay.
just one big. It's like a big bash.
Sounds
I
like
love it.
sounds like a date.
What? Okay, so what food are we making?
So we'd either
Hmm.
make pizzas together, or
Hmm.
we'd make like a fucking taco bar.
Dude, I was literally gonna say the exact same thing, except
What
I
can
was
I
gonna flip it. I was gonna say
taco?
either taco bar or we make pizzas.
Yeah, I I I'd probably swing more with the taco bar just because I feel like it's easier to maintain. Plus,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be so involved in like making like we're obviously involved in making the food, but there's less preparation that goes into it, and we can spend more time with the
Right.
guests and everything for the party.
Right. I agree. So I think we should go with the taco bar. That's probably the safest move
Yeah.
because one, I can make my famous mango salsa. And I mean, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Come on. Uh, if you are aware of, if you have had my mango salsa, then you know. And if you haven't, then seriously call me. I'll make it for you anytime. Uh, it's like I'm because of all this year, like COVID, I've been really getting into cooking. So I'm no longer a one trick pony, but I used to be. And my one trick used to be this salsa.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, then I could make that for everyone. It'd be great. And also, fun fact, every single birthday that I've had in my entire life that I can remember, we've had a taco dinner for that birthday.
Mhm. Oh, so it's just your birthday that the dinner party is for. That's perfect.
No, no, I'm not saying it is. I'm just
No,
saying,
I am saying that it is.
oh, okay. I'm down for that, honestly. That's fine. Uh, I actually like got back from deployment a couple months ago, and then I was hanging out with my friend Troy, and we had both been deployed, and we had both been like we hadn't seen each other in a really long time, and we missed each other's birthdays.
Oh
So
no.
we just celebrated it in December, and so I invited him over, and we had like a nice taco dinner,
I love that.
and um, so even when I miss my birthday, and pretty much what I'm saying is if this is a PSA to everyone, I'm always down for a taco dinner.
Hell
Back when
yeah.
I was living in San Diego, we would do it every Sunday. And, we would have all the family over for a nice taco dinner.
Mhm.
And I love tacos, hands down my favorite food. It's just so versatile. You can
Oh
make
yeah.
chicken, you can make carnitas, you can make beef, like whatever you could put fucking shrimp, you could put whatever you want in there.
Shrimp
I love
tacos.
tacos. Yeah. So definitely tacos. Hell yeah. I'm so down. Also, what's on the drink menu? Well, since it's a taco bar, I feel like we gotta have beer. Uh,
Beer or and or tequila.
yes, or both.
That's why I said and
Um,
or.
yeah. I PSA also, I love tequila. So it's definitely my favorite liquor. And then, you
Man, I'm
know,
just thinking of Bernie Sanders getting tequila drunk now.
oh man. Can you
That that
imagine?
that sounds like the best thing.
Can you imagine we're all eating tacos and talking about stuff and having a good time? And then I look at everyone in the room with a bottle of Patron in my hand. And then I ask everyone to take a fifth shot of tequila.
Hayden, don't.
You underestimate my power. Uh, okay, now we've already established what's on the drink menu and what's on the dinner menu.
Mhm.
What's for dessert?
Cheesecake.
Oh, I love you. Yes, cheesecake. Oh my
I knew
God.
that question was coming, and I was fucking locked and loaded for it.
I fucking love cheesecake so much. Okay, what's your favorite cheesecake?
It's probably like a sort of traditional New York cheesecake, but with like
Hmm.
strawberry
Fuck
uh
you.
like drizzle to it and everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
good, so
That's
fucking good.
literally that's my favorite. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
This we are the
Ah,
same person. What did you expect from me?
yeah. Okay. So cool. We're definitely, if we ever manage to make this dinner party happen, we're definitely combining it into one.
Hell yeah, I would
So
love for this dinner party of AOC, Bernie, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, my dad, your dad, uh, Gus Johnson, DJ Crib Def.
yeah, if any of these people actually, for some reason, hear this podcast, please, please, just, just please,
Please, please,
please.
we want this to
That's
happen.
all.
Please.
Okay, enough plugging. Anyway, what was the last thing that you bragged to mom about?
I bragged to mom about probably uh, honestly, it was probably my new shoes that I got
That's so awesome. I
that
love
are
those shoes, by the
that
way.
are atrociously bright.
They are obnoxious, but I do think that they look good on you, I will say.
And yes, I bragged about them to her, and she saw the picture and was like, "Why?"
Well, shit, if that's not the most mom response.
Yeah, it
So
is.
if
It really is.
that's really funny. Uh the last thing that I bragged to my mom about, what's up, mom? I love you. It's that I'm losing my mind because I've been that's not a real answer.
No, it's a real
Um,
answer. You're a millennial. That's a real answer.
so I think honestly, it's I've had a lot of conversations with my mom recently. Actually, like through COVID and through this year, I've actually gotten a lot closer with my parents. Shout out to mom and dad, I love you. But I think the last thing that I legitimately bragged to them about was a joke because I was going through my quarter life crisis. But honestly, that's my honest answer. So it was mostly a joke, but also I was using humor to kind of,
Hide the pain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sips water.
I
Anyway,
I use bright shoes to hide my pain.
well,
To each their own.
teach their own. Okay, next question. You, Josh Kester, are the Aristotle of dining out. What's your philosophy on tipping the waiting staff?
Always at least 20%.
At really at least?
Mhm.
Like 20 is the baseline and then you go up from there?
Regardless of service, I will always try to tip 20%, regardless of service.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Uh, and Becca is even uh, more insane than I. Like there have been times where like I have tipped less than 20%, but it was like either like really bad service, the food was like like it came out wrong and we had to send it back or whatever, yada yada yada. And it was
Yeah.
like 15% tip then. Like
Yeah.
like I gave them what a normal person would tip good service. Um
Yeah, I was gonna say
but
15 is usually my lowest that I'll ever go, and it's for the
mm,
same reason. Like everything has to go wrong for me to tip that low, you know?
yeah.
And I'm never
Uh
the person that pulls out my calculator and calculates exactly 15%. I usually like guess. I'm pretty good at mental math, so I usually guess and I normally just round up to the nearest dollar amount. I'm that guy.
actually my philosophy is always it doesn't matter what the dollar amount is, but the like cent amount has to be 69.
Actually, I think I can't think of a time where Josh has tipped and the total hasn't been 69 in the cents column. But also, I don't really read Josh's checks.
For those
So,
wondering, that comes straight from my dad
really,
because we are both the same immature human being.
I had no idea. That's so fucking funny. Like, I expected that from you, but not from dad.
Oh yeah, he is
But now
equally
that
as
I've heard
immature
it,
as
I'm
I
not
am.
surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
was like,
surprised
this
at all.
shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who knows my
So,
dad.
since Josh is the Aristotle of dining out, I'm going to be someone different. I'm going to be like the Plato or the, I don't know, what's another philosopher? Uh,
Harry Potter.
I'm going to be the
Oh wait,
Harry
no, that's the
Potter.
Philosopher's Stone. Oh shit.
Ah, fuck.
Oh man,
I'm going to be the Professor
Socrates.
Quirrell of, oh yeah, Socrates.
No, it's
Socrates, dude.
Socrates.
All right, so I'm going to be the Socrates of dining out. My philosophy is pretty much same as Josh. If it's terrible, you still do 15, just as a
Mhm.
baseline. Because as we've already discussed, service workers are the backbone of this nation and they're heroes. This is kind of an interesting question because I used to be in the service industry. You know, I
Mhm.
was a night manager at that restaurant. I was a busboy at a different restaurant. So when I'm out at a dining experience, it's always different for me because I've lived it. And
Mhm.
so I can't help but put myself in the shoes of whoever's serving me. I can't help it. Like I
Yeah.
analyze it that way. And so I always think if I was the waiter and I was serving that person, what would I want them to tip me? And that's what I go off of. So it usually is upwards of, 20, 25. Since COVID has been going on and, I've been blessed to be in a government job where I never, stop getting paid.
Hmm.
And, I haven't had to I'm very lucky and I realize that. And I haven't had to deal with the unemployment and all that stuff. I habitually tip thing again. So if I'm dining out, because everything in Hawaii is open because
Hmm.
we're doing amazing and way better than the mainland. Fuck you on the
Yeah.
mainland.
Oh yeah.
We all wear masks and socially distance, and it's great because our quality of life is better. But anyway, so when I dine out, I habitually tip 40, 50%. And then if I'm doing like a DoorDash or like a pizza delivery, baseline is 30 and it goes up from there just because I have the extra money
Hmm.
and I've been blessed and I want to, help people out. So that's my philosophy is put yourself in the shoes of your service worker and then what would you want to get paid from them? And then that's
For
what you
sure.
should tip
For sure. For
because
sure.
especially if you go to Idaho where tips are like their salary.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not tipping in a place where servers are, their baseline pay is like $2 or something an hour because they're like, oh, but you'll make up the rest of the money in tips. Like, tip out your ass for those
Mm-hmm.
people because they need it.
Yeah. And you're already dining out. It's already expensive. So just shell it out, bro. Like, come on, figure it out. And I use bro as a gender neutral term. So don't even come at me with that. Uh, what's your favorite thing? Oh, okay. Yeah. Here's my last question. So I don't know where we're at with time, but just so you know, this is my last
Been about an
question.
hour.
Cool. What is your favorite thing about your best friend?
My favorite thing about my best friend. Well, that seems like a pointed question. That maybe wasn't on the BuzzFeeds or those places. This seems like
No, it
you want
was
me to
straight
pat.
up.
This seems like you want me to pat you on the back, sir.
Okay, now hear me out. Hear me out. It was on the BuzzFeed, but when I saw it, I was like, "Holy shit, that's so fucking funny!" Because I'm literally going on a date with my best friend, and then the last question is going to be, "What's your favorite thing about your best friend?" But also keep in mind, I have to answer this too. So,
That's true. So I would probably say my favorite thing about you, burp for effect.
burp.
Uh, my favorite. Hmm. Why do I have to
Okay,
pick
well,
one?
while you think I have mine
Yeah,
ready,
I was like, you go because I need to choose between like 80 different things.
yeah, it was pretty hard for me to think of something too. But I think that my favorite thing about you, and like the thing that I appreciate about you the most, is no matter what, it doesn't fucking matter what's going on in life or what's happening in the real world or anything. Josh is the most positive person that I've ever met in my entire life. He is a constant ray of sunshine. He, even when he isn't, like, even when he's deprecating, it's usually in the form of humor. And so there's still some positivity that can be derived from that. And honestly, the biggest source of positivity in my entire life is Josh. Just he's just a constant ray of sunshine in my life, even on a cloudy day, even when the fucking sun is obliterated in 5 trillion years, he's
So
still
if
gonna be there.
if anybody that I've ever worked with ever hears this, they're going to be like, "That's a fucking lie."
Well, I mean, okay, that's different
No,
because
I know, I
that's
know, I know.
I've never had the pleasure of working with Josh,
It's
but
not a pleasure, I guarantee you. I think of myself as a good coworker, but I understand that I can get very stressed out at work, and can get a little. I don't want to say angry, but like I people can push my buttons a lot easier when I get stressed
yeah,
out at work. but no, thank you. I appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
my favorite thing about you is probably and you touched on this uh earlier, but just how like available you are, like just at the drop of a fucking hat. Like if I was going through something, you'd be there. If like not even if I was going through something, if anybody that was like close to you was going through something, you're there. You're like right there, like there to help them. And that's
Hmm.
honestly a quality that you don't find in a lot of people. And like if you're listening to this and you found a person that is like that, obviously don't abuse that from them, because eventually they will not be able to do that for you because
Yeah.
you're just using them and using them and using them. But like if you found that in somebody, make sure you treasure that person because they are like a fucking godsend.
Yeah. Well,
So
thanks.
yeah,
I
that'd probably
appreciate
be my
that.
favorite thing about you.
Thanks. I appreciate you. I just care about you a lot. So yeah, that's all I got.
Oh my
Um,
god.
do
Wow.
you have any? Do you have any save rounds?
It, any what?
Any save rounds? Like any like final thoughts or words or anything?
What was this a good date?
Oh yeah, I would
Oh,
definitely.
okay.
I would. I would. Me personally, I would want a second date. I don't
Oh,
know how you feel.
well, seeing how I am engaged, I'd probably have to say
Oh, you
yes, I'll
are?
take a second date.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, perfect. Oh man, I thought that this was gonna take a bad turn, but I was gonna suggest that if you weren't interested romantically, then we could just be friends.
Oh yeah, that would be fine too, I guess.
Okay, yeah, we should probably I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything, so we should probably just be friends.
Yeah, that sounds like the best thing that we could probably do. Yeah.
Also, can we just talk about that real quick? Like, if you're on a date and it doesn't go super well, but you're still like invested in the person or at least interested, and you maybe don't have a lot of friends, like maybe you're
Mhm.
in a new city, certain person in our life who just moved to a new city, uh, and you have a date that doesn't go particularly well, can we normalize like becoming friends after? Or,
Mhm.
just because maybe yeah, you're not meant to be romantically with that person, but that doesn't mean that you can't hang out and be friends. Um, I have plenty of friendships that started off as dates and then it didn't quite, we weren't vibing in that way, but
Mhm.
we were, we've actually become friends and, that's pretty cool.
Vibed in a different
So,
way.
so just know that if you're on a date, um, that's always a possibility is like, hey, I'm looking to be friends though. And is that cool with you? And if it's not, then like whatever, no hard feelings.
Yeah,
But, you could build some really good friendships that way.
you can
So
for sure.
like right now, me and Josh are friends now. We
I
definitely
Who would
weren't
have
before
thought?
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not. Don't listen to the past 4 episodes.
Yeah. I
I don't
mean, it
even
doesn't matter
what is
that
this podcast even called again?
I have no idea. I think it's like a date with my best friend or something like that.
Wow, we're already
Uh,
best friends.
oh shit.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. All of my on this date, all of my romantic interest in Josh aside, I think it went really well.
I agree. It's a good date.
So yeah, there were actually a lot. So actually, it's kind of funny that you said that you'd be down for a second date because there were a lot more questions on those BuzzFeed articles.
Oh yeah.
So we could even do this again. So if you're listening at home or watching at home and you liked this and you want to hear us do some more, and if you have questions that we should ask each other on our date, then let us know and
Please tweet at
you know
us.
tweet at us.
Leave comments. Leave it in the reviews of in the Google Play Store. I think that's the only place that
Yeah,
we have that you can leave a review.
I think so. Yeah, because we're
Is
still not
damn
approved on
Apple.
Apple. Apple,
And
get your shit together.
we might be by the time this comes out, but we're going to complain about Apple still.
oh fuck, if we're not on Apple within like 10 weeks, then that's bad.
Yeah.
We have other issues. But
Are
yeah,
we just not
go to
marketable
Google.
enough?
Yeah, go to Google, go to Apple, leave us reviews, please. You'll be entered to win a $10 Starbucks gift card.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on YouTube, write a comment. You'll also be entered. You can only write one eligible comment though, just letting you know. You can
Mm-hmm.
still, we still encourage you to comment as much as possible, but you can only get one entry
Talk
from that.
smack if you want. Like you'll still get an entry into the giveaway.
Yeah, I mentioned that on an earlier podcast too. If you hated us, I don't care. Let us know. I'll still send you a fucking gift card, bro. I don't care.
We will buy your love, damn it.
Yeah. Well, I guess my save round for this podcast is I think we might record one more before I leave. If we do, then that's cool. If we don't, then I would like to personally apologize for this terrible neck beard if you're watching us on video. And I would also like to, once again, for the second time today, apologize for all the audio issues. People are starting to wake up in my time zone and the Wi-Fi is becoming more strained. So, um, and so yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you or hear you or I mean, we won't hear you.
We
Shit.
won't hear you or
You know
see
what
you,
I
but
mean.
you'll
We'll
see
see you
us.
next
You'll
time.
hear us next time. Peace,
Yeah.
guys.
We love you. See ya. Dead air, 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 dead air.